Hey, how's everybody doing? I know some of you I sent a link to the Logos software. It's on sale for 50 bucks right now if you don't have Logos at all. So I figured I'd just give you kind of a quick tutorial of kind of how this works and uh, different aspects of this. So I had got mine set up. You can kind of add a tab where you have 4 different Bibles. And I'll go into why I do that in a second. But this kind of tells you if you have anything to update. I need to restart. I'll do it at some point. This is just kind of when stuff synchronized when it downloads. This is different layouts you can have. You can close your tabs, and then next to that's your account, which, yeah, that's me. So, Deuteronomy 32:8. If depending on which version of the Bible you read, you're going to read something different that has different implications. So, New King James kind of my go-to, and then I got NASB, the NIV, NLT up here. He set the boundaries of the people. So we'll go back. When he separated the sons of Adam, that would be humans, he set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the children of Israel. When you think of when he separated the sons of Adam, generally we would think of Babel, the Tower of Babel, when he spread people out all over the world. And he set the boundaries of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. That's a pretty weird thing to say. It's very Israel-centric. But if you go to the NLT, he established the boundaries of the peoples according to the number in his heavenly court. He established the boundaries of all these people that he's splitting up, giving them a new language, sending them to different spots according to the number in his heavenly court. As if he is delegating responsibility for those people to one of the sons of God. Because if you hold your mouse over this, you see different manuscripts, it says angels of God or sons of God. In the Old Testament, sons of God is angels. So if he's establishing the boundaries of the people according to angels, does that mean he's delegating responsibility for those people groups to them? Because God took Jacob, the people of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, as his inheritance. Very different thing. So having multiple Bibles appear at the same time where you can look at this stuff is helpful. One of the big benefits, you have parallel passages. So Acts 32:8 and then Acts 17:26 kind of references that. He made from the blood every nation of men to dwell on the face of the earth and has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings. There's also cross references. These are not all helpful for where I thought I'd go, but if you want to see how verses go together, they've got different ways to do that. If you want to know what word is used, we'll go to Psalm 82. God stands in the congregation of the mighty, he judges among the gods. Different. God presides over heaven's court, he pronounces judgment on the heavenly beings. So, God is judging quote unquote gods. If you want to know what word is used for God, if you look on the right side of the screen, it's Elohim. And the same word is also used at the end of the verse. So if you don't know Hebrew, you're kind of taking somebody else's knowledge of the Hebrew language to kind of figure out how they translated things the way they did. You can see the definition on the right side. You see Elohim. And then below that, you see the translations, how different verses or how different versions of the Bible translate it. If you want a text comparison, it opens up a new tab and you get 9 Bibles. I don't know how they pick them, but you can kind of see how the different Bibles have translated it. Below that, you have other references. You get sons of God in the Old Testament, a group of heavenly beings who married the daughters of men and bore children with them. That would be, I think, Genesis 6. Um, so there's a lot of great ways to intersect the Bible with this, where you can connect things. Makes it easier than having. I love paper Bibles, but this is so easy and so fast to find different verses and to link them all together. And just the implications of God splitting people up according to the sons of Israel, the sons of God. And then you have Daniel 10, verse 12. The angel meets Daniel and he says, "Do not be afraid. From the first day you set your heart on understanding this and on humbling yourself before God, that your words were heard. And I have come in response to your words." So God sent an angel. The prince of the kingdom of Persia was withstanding me for 21 days. Is that a physical prince or a spiritual prince? What version of prince did they use? Tsar, a representative of the king or official. Prince of the kingdom of Persia, and this likely refers to another angel, most likely one that rebelled because this angel was working in opposition to God. And then below that you have Michael, one of the chief princes, potentially an archangel. A different word. That's because I have it on chief, no wonder. One of the chief men of the state, Sarim, Sar. Is it different? Yep, different word, Sar, Sarim. I mean, they mean about the same thing, they're just a little different. It's Hebrew. The prince of Persia was an angel appointed to protect Persia. He fought with the angel informing Daniel. So his goal was different than God's. God had a vision for Daniel to tell him about what was going to happen, and he didn't. And then you've got Luke 1, where Zacharias is being told by an angel, and this is going to be Greek, so the words are different. The word Lord will be different. Kyrios, Lord. In Greek, that's different than in Hebrew. It's generally when it's the Lord, and Lord is in all caps, that's God's name. The reason they put the Lord is because of how they interpret the third commandment about taking the Lord's name in vain. So there's a lot of things that work directly with each other, and then you have the language change. But Zacharias said to the angel, "How will I know this? For I'm old, and my wife is well advanced in years." And Gabriel says, "I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God and was sent to speak to you and bring these glad tidings." So apparently his heart was not as open as Mary's, who just a little later also asks, "How can this be, since I do not know a man?" She doesn't get the mute treatment. So it's just a little different. But we can go back to Psalm 23. Everyone knows it. The Lord is my shepherd. The Lord. The word is Yahweh, God's name. There is, most of them just use the Lord or Lord. Then you have the ASV and the LEB that use God's name. So it's just an interesting thing to note. But that's just one of those things that Logos can do for you. You've got the home. I don't mess around here much, but this is your list of references. I've got 142. Clearly, I've read 1% of 365 Days of Spurgeon, so I need to read more. But it's just cool when you see, oh, hey, on Logos, I've read 4% of this commentary, which literally only appears down here, and I don't dig in too much. I'm a bibliophile. If you give me a book, it's going to be a lot better than this. But 4% of the Lexham English Bible, which I get rid of as fast as I can. But anyway, Factbook Jesus. I don't know. This is how you enter the passage to make all of these windows work at the same time. And then unfortunately for me, it screws up how I have things formatted. Still cool. I mean, it's a way to keep the passage guide, the commentary, and the Bible all together, rather than just searching here or searching. These generally stick together. These will stick together, but if you want this to work with it, you have to search up here. If you want to create docs, working with your friends, I think you can share them like social media-ish, I'm not sure. Or you just keep them for yourself. You can create groups, never done it, obviously. If you have guides, it's kind of like the passage guide. I think you can pull it up and then have more tabs if you want to be one of those weirdos that has like 47 tabs in Chrome or whatever. This is how you would do it. And then you have your tools. Come on, work with me. And you got an atlas. So if you ever wanted to see Paul and Silas's trip from Taurus to Lystra, or Babylonian captivity, or the pre-patriarchal period. Jacob returns to Canaan when he leaves Haran, sees angels, wrestles with God, meets his brother. This is the route he took. Pretty cool that this is part of Logos, that it's in there. Exodus, Ezra, not Exra. Ezra led him from Babylon to Jerusalem. This was a big desert. So if you don't know why it takes longer when you're going around a desert following a river, this is why. The time of Jesus, you got little flags that kind of tell you that something happened. Raised a widow's son. You can zoom in and out. You have a terrain map or flat. So it looks more like a map, but I like the terrain because then you kind of see, well, why did they take this route? Why did they go here? So that's just another one of these tools that Logos has. Sermon Manager, if you want a sermon, you got notes you can keep track of. Probably more secure than Google Docs. If you want to create pictures, share them. This is their media collection. Logos verse of the day. Kind of like, this is like what happens when you mix the Blue Letter Bible with YouVersion. You kind of get this. It's also available on like your phones and tablets. This desktop version to me is the bee's knees. It's fantastic. So if you're ever thinking about something like this, right now it's only $50. I would go out and do it.